Any attorney knows that you prove your case by taking points one at a time. I can't disprove the Bible, the entire Bible, in one fell swoop. It's far too flawed for that. Cases are built point by point. It's technical and it's methodical. What do you recommend? Broad, glittering generalities, which are nothing more than unsubstantiated opinions? Opinions are a penny a pound. Our critic continues, quote, I would like to give you 5 reasons that I consider the Bible to be God's Word, all of which are outside of its own claim of divine inspiration. That is, these claims are not internal like those of Stewart and McDowell. 1. In a book written over 1,600 years by 40 different men, I find a consistent message of man's sins and God's righteousness and so forth. 2. Fulfilled prophecy, both political and messianic, too numerous to be a coincidence. 3. A practicality that is manifested in the changed lives that Christ has effected. 4. A message too unique and wonderful to be man's invention, especially in the concept of salvation through grace. What man could have invented the greatest love story ever told? God becoming a humble babe, suffering death. And 5, overwhelming evidence that Christ was resurrected and therefore who he said he was. Unquote. To this I said, the problem with your analysis is that it's not only a litany of unproven generalizations, but saturated with that narrow vision so prevalent in those who have been taught to believe that theirs is the only way. Let's look at your points one at a time. First, anyone who finds the biblical message to be consistent hasn't looked very hard or with a critical eye. One of the primary reasons for our publication's existence is to prove the Bible is anything but consistent. This is only one of the primary reasons. Second, with respect to prophecy, biblical predictive capability is about equal to that of most fortune tellers, as past and present issues of our publication will demonstrate all too clearly. And I might add that also is true of past and future TV shows that we're now presenting. Third, changed lives also occur to those who have adopted the beliefs of Muhammad, Buddha, and countless other religious figures. Why single out Jesus for special attention and consideration? Fourth, what's unique about the Christian message, and upon what possible basis would you conclude that it's beyond man's inventive capability? Are you saying no one thought of basic Christian beliefs such as salvation by grace, the atoning death, the resurrection of one's God, and so forth prior to the appearance of Jesus? Are you saying Christianity is not a composite, a conglomeration of many earlier beliefs and religions? You need more knowledge in the history of religion and comparative religions. One might just as well say Christianity emerged isolated from all outside influences with no evolutionary history, in which case it truly would be unique. I'd be interested in knowing what aspect of Christianity did not exist in some prior or earlier religion or faith. Fifth and lastly, even if Jesus had arisen from death, why would you consider that of any consequence, since resurrections were rather common in that age, according to the Bible? Essentially, all you have done is make some all-encompassing generalizations to which I have more or less responded in kind. From your perspective, the Bible is God's Word teeming with fulfilled prophecy and other accurate teachings. I say the exact opposite is true. It's anything but. Now that that's out of the way, where do we go from here? Do we prove and provide evidence, or do we merely continue making assertions which the other side considers to be completely off base? That's the problem with so many letters I receive. Nearly all biblicist equate belief with proof. They just can't seem to separate proven facts from opinions. They also seem to have no ability to sit back and critically analyze their own beliefs. They don't ask themselves questions like, now what would be the logical response of a critic to what I just said? And there's no doubt in my mind that you are going down the same road, the same path. That completes our presentation. And please join us later for the 39th edition of Biblical Errancy Commentary, when we'll continue showing why the Bible is nothing more than the flawed composition of some fallible human beings. Thank you for listening.